Hello there and welcome back again to another video. I'm James and I make a daily video, one video every day, put it on my YouTube. So, I usually just talk about, I usually sort of try to answer the question, what am I thinking about? And as usual, I'm thinking about London. I've been looking at flats and I've been looking at what's available. And it's quite exciting, quite interesting to think about the potential options of where I'm going to live. But to be honest, where I'm going to live is not such a big deal whatsoever. Once it's all sorted and I'm settled in, then what is more important is what I'm going to do. And I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make YouTube videos. And I'm also going to look for creative opportunities to play music. So the kind of different options that I've been looking at which are available are there are places to rent that are in big buildings and they have security, they have a gym, they have concierge, and they look pretty good. Those places are in Canary Wharf. And then there's other places available that are just simply a room for rent with none of the extras. But I'm not interested in a room for rent, actually. What I'm interested in is a flat to rent or a studio, depending on how good it all looks and where it is. But my stipulations are I want my own place, no shared facilities at all, and it's got to have a double bed. And it's got to be in a good location. But I can decide what a good location is by visiting that area, having a look around, spending a bit of time there, and seeing what I think, what I feel. And I'm just going to do 1 year in London at first. So I'll get a place, I'll stay there for 1 year. And then I'll see what happens after 1 year. And then decide if I'm going to leave or if I'm going to extend. Basically, if I've started making money, then and I like where I am, then I could extend. Well, either way, I've got to start making money. That's the number one priority. I need to be getting a consistent income stream that can fund my living, uh, one way or another. And I'm going to try and look for the opportunities that make the most sense to me, the kinds of things that I would like to do. And I'm sure that there are plenty of opportunities available for a person like me who's the kind of person that is fun to be around, light-hearted, entertaining. So that's what I'll be doing as an experiment, giving it a go and seeing what happens. And anything could happen, but I can see really good results on the way, because it's time for some of my good karma to come back to me. And I really think it's going to work out great. Whatever happens, it's all going to be brilliant. It's all going to be great. I'm sure of it. I'm remaining very positive. And I'm just going to keep making my videos. Every day, pick up the camera and talk to the camera. That's all I have to do. Showcase my charisma, my charm, my sense of humour as I share my thoughts and feelings with camera and the camera. Pretty easy, right? I can do that, of course I can. So I'm really looking forward to what's coming, and I really do believe it's going to be a great time. I'm going to be very happy on a regular day. I'll be very productive, mostly very happy, and I'll just be continuing on to chip away at my vision and just sharing that vision and then seeing it all come to life. It's quite easy when you put the steps in the right order, then it all makes sense and everything happens very simply and very easily. And I'm aware of that. I've seen the process taking place many times now. And I know everything's going to be great. Everything's going to go great. Everything's going to go very well. And I'm going to see many successes. And I'll probably even surprise myself with the kinds of success that I'll see. I'm sure I will. I'll be glad to surprise myself. And I'm going to be taking my time, just making one move at a time and talking to the camera the whole time and keeping my YouTube updated as to what's going on with me. I'm going to be here all the time talking, and it's going to be another great journey. I love being there, and I'll be going to many, 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 many kinds of different activities that are going on and things like that. I'm sure I will. I'll be telling you all about it. My whole life is changing, and I'm very happy about it. And it's getting better and better. It's a big improvement. So things are going really well, and I'm really happy. I'm very positive. I have a lot of hope, and I have a lot of optimism for the future. I think it's going to be brilliant. I can't wait to see just how amazing things can go. And I'm sure they can. And I'm sure they will. I'm totally convinced now at this point that everything ahead of me will go just brilliantly. So that's all very, very positive. I'm overwhelmingly positive at the moment. And I really am planning only to succeed. And I really think I'm going to see a successive continuation of successes, meaning personal wins, more of me getting what I want, more of me living that great life that I've been dreaming of, that I've been imagining for years and years and years. It's all coming now. I've managed to let go of everything that was in the way, and I've come to my senses in a brand new way. I've started to think with such clarity and to see a vision for my own life. And it's a very, 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 like I said, overwhelmingly positive vision. And even to have this ability to just think like this is a gift in and of itself, without even anything happening. Just to have the positivity to think that everything's just going to keep improving and getting better every single day. That's such a great feeling to have. I'm like a new person. I really am like a completely new person. And I'm very, I feel very good about that. It's all very good. So, yeah. Moving forward to great things ahead. I can't wait. Funny, interesting, sweet. I'm watching YouTube again. This time it's Andrew Gold. Heretics. And they're talking about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. Seems to still be a very popular topic. All this time later. They've been talking about this for years. I am currently somehow both hot and cold. The heating is on very high, and it does get very warm, but my feet get so freezing cold. I think because the floor is cold, the ground is cold, so my feet get cold. And then, as I'm laying in bed, I just sort of put them next to the radiator to try and warm them up. And it does seem to work. It's currently 10:17 p.m. on the 17th of February 2026. I did attempt to go to sleep, I'd guess about half an hour ago. I lay down, closed my eyes, and just spent the whole time thinking. But very pleasant thoughts. Like I was saying before, very positive. I have been very positive, and I still am. There are many, many, many more things for me to do, and it's a very long list. One of the things I want to do is more food reviews. And better quality food reviews of better quality food establishments. Taking some inspiration from Gary Eats. Taking some inspiration from Danny and Gary. I've seen them go to Fallow, and the food looks really very good. Maybe I'll give that a go sometime. If I can find somebody to go there with. I don't want to go alone, but I'll find somebody. That'll be good. I'd like to see what they got to offer. Good food reviewed on YouTube. I wonder if I could actually see the King of England at Buckingham Palace sometime. I wonder if that would ever happen. Could do. King Charles. I think today I should do something for the vlog. I should go out somewhere. I'm not sure where to go. Can't be too far away. I should do some kind of food review. I've just thought of what I could do. I could do a McDonald's hot drink review, and I will get whatever the special hot drink is at the moment. I'll do that for the video. I could do two birds with one stone as well, thinking about it. I could take a bag full of donations down to the charity shop. Then I could do the McDonald's hot drink review. That's a good idea. So I'll probably go do that about 9 a.m. It looks like Fruity Loops Studio is a good idea to get a hold of as a digital audio workstation for creating music. I think I'll give that a go. Not right now, but I will. I will do. Definitely will. What I've got to work with now is just my guitar. If I want to write some songs, but I really need to learn some new chords. I keep playing the same chords. I could use somebody just to show me a few different positions on the guitar that I don't really know. But I need someone who can explain it really easily and in a way that makes sense to me. And I think that means it's got to be quite intuitive, quite obvious, simple. Simple Simon over here. That rockstar energy I had yesterday was really good. I think it was strawberry flavour. I'm looking for the can. I can't see it. I think I must have binned it. But yeah, rockstar strawberry one. And it's like 0 sugar. I only like the 0 sugar energy drinks. I don't like the sugar ones too much. I do get them every now and then, but I always find them to be too sweet. But yeah, I really love caffeine in all kinds of forms. In all forms, I love caffeine. I'd like some caffeine right now, to be honest, thinking about it. But it's 11:55, and that might mean that I'll be up all night. But you know what? Since I've been doing the YouTubes, I've kind of stopped sleeping quite as much. I've really cut down on my sleep. Like, oh, well, not intentionally. I wake up and I'm so excited to like start videoing again that I'm just not getting as much sleep as I was. I'm amazed that I'm still enjoying this whole thing, but I think that was just a whole childhood kind of pattern I had playing out where anything I would get excited about, it was always like, oh, when are you going to get bored of that or whatever. So there was always the expectation that I was going to get bored of it and just give it up. But I'm breaking the patterns. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving it up. I'm happy doing this. I like making my video. If I could have done this when I was a kid, I would have absolutely 100% been making YouTube videos for sure. I used to do kind of things like this anyway. I remember when we had cassettes. You could record onto a cassette tape, and we used to record like what we thought were like comedy sketches onto these cassette tapes, and then we'd play them back and listen to them. So I was already doing things like that at like a young age. Now I'm just doing another version of that. Except I'm not very funny. Oh no, I can be funny sometimes. I have to be in a funny mood to be funny. I'm not contrived at all. So the natural vlog style seems to be the only way for me to do anything. Like a lot of planning and effort going into things is not really going to happen with me. I'm very spontaneous and just impulsive, and I've realised as long as I just follow that train of thought, it seems like good things happen. So I'm really looking forward to like thinking now of like imagining when I look at my channel and there's hundreds of videos in a row. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep going. I love it. I'm really enjoying this uh, experience. And I don't think I'm going to stop anytime soon. I can't see it happening. I'm liking it way too much. It's so much fun. I like being the center of attention, first of all. I like talking to myself. And I just like the idea of videoing me. I like it all. I like it all. So welcome to the King of Nothing. I think that is the YouTube channel, King of Nothing. Who is that? What does he do? King of Nothing. Let's see. Oh, it's a book. A story about the joys and challenges of dreaming big and showing the world you don't have to fit in. You don't have to fit into just one box. King of Nothing. Cool. Yeah, books. I got my books here. Got some other books that I'll be wanting to go through. I'm currently reading the Jimi Hendrix book. I could just keep buying more and more and more and more and more books, but I'm not sure that's such a good idea. It'd be better to read them than to just buy them and then just have them sitting there on the shelf. I have been reading this Jimi Hendrix book a little bit. I think last time I read it, I probably did like 10 to 15 pages. So I'm not going as speedy as I would imagine that I should or I'd like to. But that's okay. That's okay. Everything in its right place. Everything in its right place. In its right place. Right place. In its right place. I wonder if I really have to move. I wonder if like miraculous circumstances will appear and then I just won't move. I could see it happening. But as far as I know, I'm going to be moving. And that means I'm not able to collect so many physical items. But I'm not bothered about collecting physical items. Now that I'm doing YouTube videos, I just like to get my daily vlog done and hopefully fill it with loads of cool content and then get that uploaded. I actually think that's so much better, is to have all this content that's just online. It doesn't take up any physical space. And that means there's no real need for like a big house anymore. If I want to go and look at like physical things like books and whatnot, I can go to a library and do that. Or I can just go to a bookshop, buy a book, sit in a cafe, read it. I mean, I can still collect like things, but definitely not as many of them. And I'm okay with that. I'm not really like a big collector of things anyway. I am sometimes. I have been previously like that, but I'm not going to be doing that quite as much moving forward. I think I'd like to become a lot more productive instead of spending money. I've really managed to like massively reduce how much money I spend, and I've done that really, really well. And now I'm just focused on making as much money as possible. Like when I can buy a house in London, that's when I'll start collecting things again. Because that's really the only place I'd really like to live. There's a few other places that I would consider that I was thinking about, which was Brighton, Oxford, and Cambridge, but they're all down south. Maybe eventually I'd get a place up north as well. I don't know. I'm imagining myself like buying multiple properties and just having them all for me, not for anyone else. Just just my properties. I like the idea. I like the idea of just having houses everywhere, loads of them. Do I need them? Obviously, yeah. Do I want them? Also, yeah. Yeah, I'm not being ashamed anymore of really putting out my most grand desires. Like that is genuinely what I would like. I'd like to be able to just think like, oh, I'll just go to my other house for for a while. Like whatever I'd like to just go somewhere else, I just go to my other house. I mean, if you had that kind of money to do that, then you'd think, well, you could just go to hotels. Well, I guess the difference is that if you have your own house, you can collect stuff. You can go out shopping and buy 50 books and just put them all on the shelves. Have I got time to read them all? I would do. I'd make an effort to read them all. And I don't think it matters that much because everything that's like all this wealth that's generated eventually gets reclaimed and reused and it goes to someone else. And that's all okay. I don't think of that as a problem. I think of that as acceptable to me. But I'd like to live that kind of lifestyle. I'm not sure that everybody would. I do think a lot of people would, though, but they might not admit that they would like that, because the idea is that you should be, eco-friendly, environmentally conscious, and that means don't own too many things. But I don't think there's anything inherently disrespectful about living your life to the max and just seeing how far you can get. It's just exciting to me. So yeah, I can see myself buying again at some point down the line. But before that, I need to focus on how do I make the big bucks. That's what I'm thinking about more than anything. How do I make the big bucks? How do I make that moolah? There's loads of ways to do it. I'm heading in a good direction. I think there's many good uh, things coming my way. I've got to really stay positive and just keep playing the game. That's the way to do it. The only way you can win is if you're playing, right? If you stop playing, there's no win for you. You can only win if you're actively taking part in playing the game. So I am actively taking part in playing the game now, every day, without question, always. Giving it 100% as much as I can, constantly. And if anything, these good thoughts and fantasies keep my mind so occupied with like a dream, a vision, and it keeps me focused on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Like, how do you do what it is you want to do without like a clear image of the future that you're trying to create by doing that? Like, you're trying to create a better life for yourself. That's why you do what you do. And I think you should make that goal as big as possible. Look at everything that you can think of and just say, if I was getting everything I wanted, without question, what would that look like in reality? And then when you think about that reminds you of your reason why you're doing what you're doing. And if you have that reason, you'll keep going because you want to win the game. You want the dream to become a reality. You want to hit the jackpot. Of course you do. We all want to win big. We're all playing the game of life for that feeling of greatness, to be important, to feel important, to be the rich person, for anything you think that you want to do on a whim. You just do it. You want to go shopping for whatever you want. There's no question. And there's no stopping. You just get what you want. And that's it. Like, there's no obstacle. You can see no obstacle. That's really what it's all about, is to have that mental peace, that assuredness, that confidence that comes along with knowing at every moment, at any moment, no matter what occurs, I will have enough to take care of it. I will be able to do whatever needs to be done to make everything okay. And there's no real problem that money can't fix. There really isn't. If you have emotional issues, you can pay for psychotherapy. If you have mental issues, you can pay for counseling. If you have physical issues, you can pay for great doctors, for massage therapy, for physiotherapy, for medicine, for great food, for a personal trainer, for the best gym. So if you have a mental issue, an emotional issue, a physical issue, you can pay money to make that better. Money does buy everything. There's not a lot that doesn't come with more money. Peace of mind. If you want to find peace of mind, pay a life coach to train you, to talk to you, to give you motivational speeches. I've thought about this so much, and I really think, where does it stop? How far does it go? It has to be money, always. That's the real fix. Nothing else really quite does the trick. And this is just logic. It's not greed. I'm just being logical. And it's security, it's comfort, it's peace of mind. That's what you get. Sounds worth it to me. I'm drinking this cafe cappuccino, even though it's 20 past midnight. That's right, people. I'm having a coffee at midnight. Why? Because I can. Stock check in aisle 1. Let's see what food we've got in stock at the moment. Currently we've got these pies, chicken, steak and kidney, chicken. Got 4 of them sat there. And we've got some cheese, grated mature cheddar, rich and creamy. Then we've got some Warburton's bread to go along with the cheese, the grated cheddar, rich and creamy. Because one of my most favoritist dishes to eat is just cheese sandwiches, or cheese toasties, or just cheese on toast. Any combination of bread and cheese to me, is a great combination. I like it simple and tasty. And I've always loved pizza so much. So, cheese on toast is just like pizza for simpletons. Although pizza is pretty simpleton food. But I am a simpleton. I am a simpleton, sir. Don't judge me. I am but a simple man who means no harm. Do not be afraid. I'm trying to sound like the Bible. You know how they talked in the Bible? I like reading the Bible sometimes. Sometimes I listen to like the audiobook version of the Bible. I like it. If that makes me a Christian, I guess maybe I'm a Christian. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe I am. I think I've realised that whatever your content on your YouTube channel is, it's either going to take off or it's not going to take off. And it's not so much about the subject matter. It's about, like for my channel, it's about me as a character. Will people like me? I was looking on Reddit and I'm seeing people asking like, how to get more views on my channel, how to get more subscribers. I'm not really trying to do that, although I think I could, but I'm not sure that I really need to or really want to. I just think if it happens, it happens. I don't really care. I just like making the video. That's the part I like. I like making it. And I like seeing my collection of videos all posted up on my YouTube channel. If they got way more views, I'd be like, wow, how did that happen? But I'm not sure whether I would care that much. It's funny, I've heard a lot of people talking about YouTube and how the views affect them. Like they base their self-worth on how many views they get. I'm not so sure I base my self-worth on that. Because the first person I make these videos for is me. I want to watch my video back when I'm doing the edit and see all sorts. I'm interested to hear all the bullshit that I came out with throughout the day. That's what I'm interested in. And so yeah, it's just like that. If it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't care either way, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop because of that. I'm going to keep doing it. I like doing it. It's fun. It's real. It's really fun. I really, really like doing it. So I'm not going to stop. Solutions, yes. Problems, no. Do we need solutions without problems? Yes. But without problems, there are no solutions. No. Where do you go when you don't know what to do? Well, you just do you. Whatever it is that you want to do, that's what you do when you don't really know what to do, what to do. You don't know what to do, what to do, what to do. You don't know what to do, no, you don't, no, you don't. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. What do you do? Well, you just do what you want to do, what you want to, whatever it is you want to, that's what you do. Oh, when you don't know what to do, that's what you do when you don't know what to do. You do whatever you want to. You do whatever you want to when you don't know. When you don't know what to do, what to do. Don't know what to do, so you don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. So what do you do? Whatever you want to do, that's what you do when you don't know what you want to do. It's about 1:30 in the morning. I've just been watching Harry and Toby and Ethan eating some African food. It was a good video. And now I'm going to try and get some sleep. We'll see if I manage to get any or not. Might not get any. Still pretty lively. Excitable. But I'm going to shut my eyes for a bit anyway and lay down. We'll see what happens. I'm probably overstimulated. It's been happening a lot. Like I said, I've just been so excited about moving. I keep thinking about it constantly. And it's just keeping me awake. And then I just end up on the computer for all-nighters. And that's okay with me if it happens. I was just started thinking, well, if I really need sleep, I'll get it. You know, if I really want to sleep, I'll just fall asleep. I'll be so tired. It's that it definitely happens. But it's not happening. ATM. I got too much to say. Way too excited.
But I don't want to stop being so excited because it's quite an addictive kind of feeling. Thinking about something that I'm really looking forward to. Even if it's months away. I used to have this exact experience as a kid quite often. If I had to think about Christmas or my birthday or something too much, I'd just be so excited thinking about it constantly that I couldn't get any sleep. I remember that happening a lot. But it's great to have like rekindled that feeling. Like when I was a kid, I was just so excited about life all the time. Always thinking about the next thing that I wanted to do. And I'm really glad to have gone back to that state of mind. Started making my own choices again and sort of taking, courageous decisions, fearless decisions. It's much better. Living in fear is not worth it. It's just not fun, is it? Not pleasant. I don't want to feel like that. And so I'm living my life again. Making my own mind up. It's great. I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop talking about how thrilled I am just to be alive. Well, it's been quite a long time since I felt like that. I'd get it in little bursts here and there, but not in like the same way I have recently. I've had so much energy recently, ever since I started doing the vlog. And I've just felt on top of the world, like properly on a high. On a proper high. And I've not really crashed out at all from it. I've pretty much learned how to regulate the way I feel now. So I'll break things up into smaller pieces and then the extremes are less. But they reached a point where I like found this perfect balance. And then since then I've just been cruising. But feeling like great. Properly great. And I'm really glad. I don't know when the last shot was, but I must have fell asleep for a bit. I just woke up so hungry. I just made this cheese toasty. It tasted so good. There's no way I was sleeping for more than half an hour. I woke up and I got this Gwen Stefani song in my head. I don't know what it's called, but it's something about being sweet. And if it does so sweet, no, I've been a real bad girl. No, your favorite word is forever. I finish together. All we ask to never so sweet. Oh, eh, oh, oh, eh, oh. I really love that song. I really like the way Gwen Stefani's voice sounds in that. It is a sweet voice. I don't know, she's saying something along the lines of something to do with being sweet. What a great music video. How good were music videos in the noughties? There's some proper classics from that decade. And that music just gives me pure nostalgia. Like, when I hear it, when I see the videos, I'm just so happy, just so in love with life. It's that same thing again. It's just like life is so good. It's so awesome. And it's so true. Life is so good. Life is so awesome. I'm so glad to be alive. I really am. Alright, I'm up. It's 11 a.m. That was a good sleep. Same shit, different day. First things first, coffee. And I gotta use the toilet. Here's the mess I've got to sort out. It won't take that long, I just have to do it. Coffee today is strong and black. None of that cappuccino shit. I'm going for the instant awakening variety. Stronger and blacker, the better. That first sip of coffee in the morning is one of the best feelings. Because I know exactly what it's going to do. Just like it always does. It's going to get me going. Now, I did say that I was going to go out at 9 a.m. and do a hot drinks review at McDonald's. But I didn't do that. Because I was still asleep at 9 a.m. I've actually got loads of things that I could be doing with getting on with inside the house. But same as always, what I always seem to do is try to come up with a plan to go outside the house so that I can put off doing what it is that I could do with doing inside the house, because the things that I could do with doing inside the house don't seem very interesting to do. Like, for instance, clean. Specifically, clean my shoes. They're just looking a bit dirty. Looking a bit too dirty. I like the clean aesthetic. don't like the dirty aesthetic quite as much, but I tend to go for it because it's low maintenance, less effort involved. So today's Wednesday. There's no responsibilities today. Tomorrow I have got a responsibility of some kind. But today is another day of just doing whatever I want to do. I mean, even when there's responsibilities, I still do whatever I want to do. But I do generally try to keep those responsibilities. And I guess that means constantly reminding myself that they're coming up. I don't actually know why it's necessary to do that. Maybe it's not. So, what am I going to do now? Well, first things first, I'm going to give myself a bit more time after waking up to actually really feel awake. That means drinking some more of this coffee and talking to you guys. Oh my god. Okay, to the strong bit. Oh jeez, that is a rough sip. I made it extra strong this morning. When I make it extra strong, that means the amount of coffee that someone else had probably put in like 4 cups of coffee. I put all of that in one. So when you take a sip, it's like, oh my fucking god. It's rough, but it does the job. That's all I'm trying to do, really. Get the job done as quickly as possible. Get me moving. Especially for the first one of the day. I don't make the ones that come after that quite so strong. I just make them at a regular dosage, like one teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons. But the first one, I go for like 4 teaspoons, if not more. Ugh, it's pretty gross. But it does tend to get me moving, and that's the point. So I need to stop talking about what it is that I'm going to do. I need to start doing it. Which doesn't make for a very good video, but it does make for real life. It does make for real life jobs actually getting taken care of. I wonder how long it's going to take me to move. I'm just sitting here. I'm trying to think the thought of I want to move, but my body will just not respond to it, as though I'm paralysed. That's how I wake up, with all the thoughts of like what I should do, but not being able to do them because my body just won't respond to what it is I want. So I guess the body is more powerful than the mind, because the mind can want what the mind wants, but the body gets what the body wants, whether the mind wants that or not. I did think that if I managed to correctly energize the body in some way, that will get me so that the body does what the mind wants it to. But that doesn't even seem to be accurate, to be honest. And the coffee trick doesn't really work a lot of the time. It doesn't really get me going. Not in the way that I seem to think it does. It's a good way to start the day, just as a routine. But I should really start to analyse my expectation that it actually has an effect on me. Well, I'm not sure it does, but it's okay mostly. Like, I feel calm, I feel at ease, I feel peaceful. I just feel like I can't even move, even if I tried to. And I've had that feeling a lot. That's what stopped me from getting up and doing whatever it is that I think I want to do. This feeling of almost being paralyzed, um, and me no longer having a say in what it is that I want to do. It is a bit like what they say. I've heard people say this before. Like the mind is just a servant and the body is the master. I think there's something true about that. But the mind tries to play as the master of the body, and it isn't really able to have the authority. Once I accept it, then I'm okay with it, and I already know that that's the way it is. But I guess I've been trying all this time to overpower um, the body's control over the mind, and because I can't win, me being the mind, that means I have to give up the control and just let the body get what it wants. It kind of feels like there's a time mechanism in place that actually creates the actions of the body, and that when the mind is completely on board with the body and they act in unison, then they function together by the same schedule. But the conflict of emotions occurs when the body has its own schedule, and that seems to be contrasting to the wants and the wishes of the mind. And that's where I get to, where I end up thinking, oh man, I can't do what I want to do. Because even if I want to, even if I think I want to, my body just disagrees, and it won't produce the energy necessary for me to do that activity. it could just be that my body is like depleted of energy in general. And maybe I could use like a balance of vitamins or something, some kind of supplements that would make it so that I'm more energetic, and then maybe I'd have more energy to do the things that I want to do. But I'm not sure if it's just first thing in the morning, I don't feel like I have the energy, and it just takes a bit of time to wake up. Or is it a chronic condition that is less specific to just the morning? Does this also happen throughout the day? I don't know. I'm going to monitor that today and pay attention to that and see whether that is the case or not. I'd like to be able to do all the things that I'd like to do, and some of the time I can when the unification of like the mental and the physical and the emotional, when the unification occurs and they all come together as one force, that's when I manage to make everything happen. But for as long as those three elements are disagreeing with each other, then there's an internal conflict that has to be resolved before anything can be done. One of the ways I resolve that is by doing what I'm doing now, talking, expressing my thoughts. What it is that I want to do is I want to get a bin bag and then go upstairs and start shoving a load of the rubbish from the room into the bin bag. So I suppose I should get on with that. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. It's really not that hard to do something once you get the resolve. And getting to the moment of decision takes as long as it takes. And it might take longer than you think you would like it to. That doesn't mean that's not supposed to be how long it takes. It just takes as long as it takes. Sometimes it takes 10 seconds of convincing. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes 10 hours. Sometimes it takes 10 days. to convince yourself to do something that you're thinking about doing. That's okay. That's not procrastination. That's not laziness. That's taking your time and wait until you're ready. Sensible. Just bashed my foot on a radiator. I also cut my finger. I've put a plaster on it. It's bleeding. It's not just a little one. Oh, and I've run out of plasters. Great. Whew. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just going to have to wrap it up in tissue. That also means not really getting on with the job until it stops. I don't want to get blood everywhere. So, I'll sit at the computer for a little bit. I did start doing it. Started putting some of the rubbish into bin bags. It's just that there's so much crap in there, it's a bit hazardous. Probably shouldn't go and get on with it with no socks, no shoes, no gloves kind of thing. Could probably do with all of those. But I didn't have any of those. Oh well. I hate work. I hate anything that feels like work. It does have to be done. And it is better to go through it. And then afterwards, I do feel a sense of relief. It just seems to bring on stress mentally. I don't like that part of it. If it didn't do that, it would be much better. And I guess it doesn't always do that. But it does on occasion. But to be fair, anything can bring on stress on occasion. Like not doing anything as well can bring on stress for me. Like not doing the work that I think that I should be doing. So doing the work can create stress. Not doing the work can create stress. So I think the answer must be, instead of it being I have to do one or the other, saying, okay, well I accept that I do both. And I also accept that I do neither. I think that's the escape route from all the the S word. He who shall not be named. STRESS. That guy or that girl. Oh, let's not personify it. Anyway, it's going to be another interesting day. It's 11:46, and it seems like body and mind and emotion have all come together. What I just said just reminded me of Trevor Ilesley. He always talks about body, mind, energy, body, mind, emotion. Be me. That's what he always says. And that talks about the be me being. He's really interesting. Like when I was last in London, when I was staying in, oh man, what's it called? Oh, I forget what the area's called. Oh yeah, Finsbury Park. Not the nicest area, apparently, but I didn't know that. But when I got there, I did walk around thinking, you know, when you just get that feeling of like, oh, this place is a bit dodgy. I was getting that. There's definitely parts of London that feel a bit like that. And I think all parts of London feel a bit dodgy at times, especially because of the way that dodgy people target others. Well, they're usually going to be going for people with more money if they're doing their dodgy deeds. Which is another worry, because there is more of crime like that in London, like robberies and stuff. And I really don't want that to happen to me. Doesn't sound very pleasant. But I do want all the associated benefits of living in London, of which there are so many. And I just love it there. I really love it so much. So you got to take the rough with the smooth, as they say. Oh yeah, when I was staying in Finsbury Park, I went on YouTube one night and then started watching a live stream that popped up of this guy, Trevor Ilesley. And I was really liking the things that he was saying. He's got 48.2 thousand subscribers, which is a really good, healthy amount. Let's have a look at his videos. So his last 5 videos got 212 views, 732 views, 175 views, 135 views, 639 views. So he's not getting that many views in comparison to his subscribers. I'm subscribed to him, but his videos don't come up as recommended to me. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's because I've turned off whether I've turned off the notifications. I don't know. He's not done a live stream for 4 months, and then he did and then it seems like 11 months ago he did 4 in a row. I think those are some of the ones that I watched and that I took part in. I did think it was pretty good what he was doing. It was interesting. He does just a lot of wordplay and he breaks a lot of things down into acronyms. So he makes up acronyms and therefore makes like new words from those acronyms that he puts together. And I quite like that kind of wordplay. It's quite refreshing to listen to sometimes. I think there's like a hidden gift in dyslexia. People who can't spell, quote unquote, properly. But then I think there's the intentional side to it, where there's an understanding of what's being done. And then maybe there's the unintentional side. But anyway, I'm just waiting for my finger to stop bleeding. I don't exactly want to carry on with shoving the things in the bin bag. It's not exactly a job that I like to do or I want to do, but I do want to see the results of it being done. What I might do is I might actually end up paying somebody else to do it. And then I'll just stand there and watch them and sort of guide them. Someone who's more willing to do the physical labour. I wish that I was willing to do it, but I'm just not. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. It's a part of what I was saying before about the mind-body disconnect. Like my mind wants to be able to do it, but my body just doesn't agree. And I try to override that sensation with my thought processes or my words, but that doesn't work. It has no effect. So, what do? I can't do it. I just have to accept that I can't do it. And like I was saying before, I have to wait until I can do it. And I don't know how long that's going to be. It'd be nice if I had something good to do in the meantime. I don't know what. I am running out of ideas. But I'm not becoming despondent or hopeless. I'm just resetting the biological computer. And then I just start again, working away in whatever format I can actually achieve. There's always a direction that you can take. Like, focusing on the directions that you can't take is good so that you can understand what's going on and you can explain it and you can make sense out of it. Often making sense out of what you can't do is how you eventually figure out how you can do it. But when there's things that you can't do, you also will find there will always be something you can do. And you can only go in the direction that is the one that seems that you can go in. And obviously, that's mostly one direction at a time, one activity at a time, one way of thinking at a time. So, the key phrase here is you have to work with what you've got. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you've got the realization that you're not really able to do much, then that's what you have to work with. And think, well, I'm not able to do much, but what can I do? What's the little that I can do? And the little that you can do is not that little. And there doesn't need to actually really be a relative size or relative importance to your activities. That's a mental process that is causing the pain and the upset to be perpetuated, is thinking that there's these important activities that must take place, but you don't feel as though you can do that. What if it's not important? Have you considered that? What if it's not quite as important as you think it is? That's most definitely a possibility. There's definitely a likelihood that that is true. It's definitely something worth considering. Maybe what you're experiencing is just a shift in priorities. Realizing the things that you thought were important actually aren't as important as you thought they were. There's been a shift in the hierarchy of the quality of relative importances. And now the things that you thought were really important aren't. And you don't have to desperately cling on to the idea that they are and that you should still be doing that. You can do that if you want, but at least be aware that's what you're doing. Or the other option is just let them go and see how the new priorities emerge as a result of letting go of those ideas around what your priorities are. There'll be new priorities that emerge that you realize are what is making you feel better to focus on. And of course, you should always be focusing on what makes you feel better. If you want to get better, focus on that which makes you feel better. That's a quite straightforward thought process that you could adopt. That's not really difficult to see the logic there, is it? My fingers stopped bleeding out. See that little nick? I should get on with clearing out the room upstairs. Again, you saw me start it, and I did a tiny, 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 tiny fraction of what needs to be done before I cut my finger. And then I stopped because I had no plasters. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more. See if I can fill up one bin bag. That would be a good accomplishment. I'm pretty sure it's highly possible. If you look at what's around, a lot of it can just go straight in the bin. Like a lot of it is just bits of paper and stuff like that. Then the rest of it I'm going to organise into piles of, I don't know how I'm going to organise those. But then I'll have to just start getting rid of some stuff. There's definitely stuff here that can also go to the charity shop. Well, I better get on with it. So I managed to fill up one bin bag. A chore. A proper chore. There's more chores to do. Do I want to do more chores? Yeah! Facebook is such a terrible platform. There's no way to go on there and scroll and have a look at what's going on without coming away feeling worse. And the reason is it's all people trying to make personal vendettas. What's that all about? I don't get it. I've got no interest to do any of that stuff. So I just like making my YouTube channel. That's the social media I'm going to do. Facebook. I don't find that interesting. Too much negativity within the people who are on there. But really, it's the people that are the problem. It's not necessarily the problem of the platform itself. But I don't know. Is it just me who's like, if I open Facebook, the feed of stuff, of stories and whatever posts that come up, it's all the most negative possible stuff. Like, here's all the worst things that have happened. Why would I possibly want to see that? It's really not very interesting. That's why I don't spend much time on there. It really seems like a total waste of time to just focus on negativity and then end up feeling worse than I previously did. And the way people feed into their desire to just be hateful towards other people is terrible. it's all just like posts of people who've been caught for doing crimes, and then so they've done something bad, and it's just a load of people commenting horrible stuff towards them about them. What's the point in any of that? And I have to assume that the majority of these people that comment, they don't know each other. If people know each other, it makes sense to talk about each other, to talk to each other more. If they know each other personally, in person. And if they don't, it's just like, what's the point in having this conversation? It's an attempt at like an ego boost for the people that are commenting. Like they get to feel better about themselves, and it's obviously virtue signaling as well. Like, hey everybody, look at me. Here's my name. I'm on the right side of the situation, but you're not on the right side of the situation if you're continuing to further the abuse towards anybody. How about nobody gives any abuse to anyone? Isn't that the optimal way? You don't solve negativity with more negativity. You don't solve people being horrible by being horrible to them. So if that's what you're doing, then you're not working to solve the issue. You're feeding into the continuation of that very issue without seeing that. It's not good. It's not good. You have to be aware of that. Actually think about it and then stop doing it. Makes for a very unpleasant environment to have to be exposed to. So yeah, that's why I'm not going on Facebook. It's not great at all. Whereas I really feel like YouTube can be a very positive place. I mean, there's a negative side to it. I guess there's a negative side to every platform, but again, it's because it's not about the people. It's not about the platform. It's about the people who are on the platform and how the people on the platform use the platform. And obviously, people get into negative states of mind sometimes, and then they feel like they have to start to express that. I've been there plenty of times. I feel negative. I start to express that negativity. Um, and it's not good. But I guess at least we're all in that process together, and those who can recognize that and have the self awareness around that are much better than those who don't. Those who are just absorbed in it and who have no desire to want to change that cycle or to stop that. I really want to change that cycle in the world. I want to make a better place for everybody. And that means trying to help people move forwards. I really question sometimes what is the use of condemnation. It's a shaming ritual, and I guess the justification for its necessity is that if someone learns what makes them feel ashamed of themselves, then they won't do it again. And maybe, I don't know, I don't get too involved with anyone, really. So I just don't get into situations where anything happens ever. It just doesn't happen. So I never have to think about how to respond. I have a healthy distance from everyone at all times. I don't get too involved. I don't need to. I don't want to. I really don't. That is the source of all the ugliness that is in the world. That is the source of all that I spend my time complaining about the existence of, the kinds of people who are so ugly inside and out. And that's just not me. I'm not that way inclined to join in on like the sadism. I don't want to hurt anyone. Why would I want to do that? There's no even concept or idea of there being any pleasure in that for me. Like hurting somebody, where's the enjoyment? Whether that's hurting them physically or emotionally, you know, to try to intentionally upset somebody, I don't see any value in that, and I don't see any reason to want to try and do that. People that want to try and hurt other people, hurt their feelings, they only want to do so because there's like a wounded part of them. There's a sad, upset part of them that's crying out for love. And that needs to be healed. It doesn't need to be given power to propagate its wants and desires. It needs to be healed, resolved, and then let go of, so that you can let love in. I found this vape while I was going through all the stuff upstairs. It's brand new, not even been opened. So I guess I'll give it away to somebody. It must have been there for ages because I quit smoking, quit vaping. I don't really do either of them now. Maybe a tiny bit here and there, but not a lot. So I'll give that away to someone. I don't know who. So I've got to think about now what it is I'm going to do. It's coming up to 2 p.m. and I'm thinking about getting some stuff. Getting some stuff out of the house. The stuff that I'm getting rid of. Um, and I'm going to be taking that to, I guess, the charity shop. And then when I'm in town, I might get a cup of tea or something, but I don't want to go to Greg's. I've gone off that. I don't really know where else to go just to get a cup of tea. Apart from Greg's. I'm not liking the vibes in there at the moment. So, pretty good chance that I'm not going to be doing that. Until that gets sorted. It's not very nice. It's not very pleasant. It's not very attractive. I've got to be attracted into the place. I can't just make myself do what I want to. And I don't want to make myself do what I want to. I want to go along with whatever's most pertinent. Is that the right word? Hang on. Pertinent. Let's see what that means. Pertinent, relevant or applicable to a particular matter. Yeah, I guess pertinent, whatever's most relevant. But I guess relevant to me has quite a strong feeling dimension to it. If it's relevant, it means there's a sense of urgency, and a want to get on with it, regardless of the results. But I'm just not feeling that. So I'm just going towards what's most relevant at every moment. Recently, that's been seeing less people, not being that interested in talking to anyone. That's what's felt the most relevant to me. The concept of that is relevant to me based on what I am feeling. That's how that makes sense. So I'm not going to be talking much more about, what I'm going to do in this video. I'll talk about a lot of interesting stuff, but just not that. That's not interesting. Not to me. I don't really want to know about that. I don't really want to hear about that. Like from me to me. So, like I said, I'm making this video for me. And that means making it interesting for me, not for anyone else. I don't really care what anyone else is interested in at all. I really don't. I care about what I'm interested in. Because this is what I do for me. I'm not saying that in general. I'm saying that in the context of this video. In general, in my daily, day-to-day life, I care about what other people think. I care about how they feel. I don't just disregard them. But I've said this before, because this is making this video is not affecting anybody else at all, that means I'm going to do whatever I want to do, not what anyone else wants me to do. There's no point in me even trying to make a video that would be what someone else would like me to make a video of. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm not them. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. I'm not them. I'm not you. I'm me. And because I'm me, I do what I want to do. And that might not be what you think is right. But it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't affect you at all in any way. If you don't like the video, don't watch the video. Go away. It's that easy. I don't know how to make that more simple to understand than that. So, I'm not going anywhere. Actually, I'm going to keep talking. I'm not getting caught up in all that bullshit, thinking that it's important, thinking that it matters. It doesn't. It's an incredibly straightforward and easy fix. I'm just telling myself that I'm not willing to do that. And I'm trying to create jobs for myself unnecessarily. I don't need to create jobs for myself. I've already created a job for myself. That's this. Make a video, talk to the camera. That's my job. That's my job that I've created for myself. And this is the one that I want to do. I'm not interested in doing the rest. It's not interesting. I'm making this interesting for me, not for anyone else. If it's interesting for you and you're watching this, that's a coincidence. It's a coincidence that you find what I find interesting. But like I said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck whether you watch it or not. I really don't. I just don't want to hear about what the fuck you think about my video. I don't give a fuck. I'm making YouTube videos the way that I would like to make YouTube videos. And that's what you're going to get. If you want to watch that, you can. And if you don't go watch something else. Or don't watch YouTube. Just don't fucking complain to me about it. I don't give a shit about what you have to say. I'm not interested. If you have something interesting to say, then I will listen. But if you just have complaints, like, why the fuck do you think I would possibly want to hear that at all? This doesn't affect you. This doesn't have anything to do with you. If you don't like it, you can stop watching it. But you don't have to tell me about what it is that you don't like about it. I don't give a shit. So stop talking to me. You're wasting my fucking time, man. I could be doing literally anything else at all than listening to that fucking load of shit. I don't give a fuck. So, camera's getting low battery now. I'm gonna have to charge it up for a bit. And then I'm getting a bit hungry. So I think I'll put together some food. Still got a load of bread left over. But I've used up all the cheese. I'm not sure what else I can even put on a sandwich, really. I could use the bacon grills or I could use corned beef, or I could use chicken. But it's all very meaty. I think I'm going to be completely vegetarian. Like once I move house, I think I'm going to be strictly vegetarian for quite a long time and see what happens. I don't actually want to eat meat. It is a thought that comes up quite a lot. Is when I do look at it, I go, "Oh, I don't really want that," but I've got it now on the shelf, so I think, well, I don't want to waste it, so I should eat it. So I end up eating it. I guess there's one thing I could make. I could make beans on toast. I've not got any butter. I've not got any cheese. But I've got bread. And I feel like bread, it kind of needs butter or cheese. So maybe I'll go get some butter or cheese from the shop. I don't know if I can really be bothered. I don't know if I really want to do anything at all. Thinking about doing anything just seems like hard work. And then I just think, I don't want to do it. But then eventually I manage to convince myself that I do want to do it. But it takes time to go through the flip flop of I want to do it. No, then I don't want to do it. No, I want to do it. No, then I don't want to do it. It's like that flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. From one side to the opposite, 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 to the opposite. Like that's the process that goes on. And I just have to deal with it. I don't want to, but I have to. Expressing it all tends to be what makes all that go away. And then I just go back to focusing on what I'm doing, talking to the camera. Um, that sort of removes all of that flip flop stuff. Um, but yeah, I think it's only really once all the thoughts have actually run out, once all the thoughts have been exposed, once all the thoughts have been relieved, let go of, that's when action takes place. But for as long as there's thought, it has to be grounded in speech. Not always, but a lot of the time, that's like my current practice. Is like that's the whole point in me having the camera and talking to it. It's like let's make the mental physical. Take the thoughts, express them. Don't just think them. A lot of the time, I don't actually even really know what I'm thinking until I say it. And then I have the realization of what I was actually thinking as I'm saying it. So, sometimes the physical overcomes the mental. Sometimes the mental overcomes the physical. It's kind of what I was talking about at the start of this video earlier today. Is there's a balance. There's a power imbalance between mental and physical. and it's constantly in motion, and it reaches places and points of seeming to correlate, and that looks like a stop in the process. But then that just starts off another process, which then continues on. So it's much more complicated than you'd actually think, and there's a lot to analyze. But if that's not the point in doing this, then I don't see what the point is. For me, this is the point, and I don't care whether anyone likes that or wants to watch that. I don't give a shit. Like I said, I'm not doing it for the reason of, like, I want attention, or like an ego boost, or I want people to like me. I really don't care. I don't care. I'm not doing it for them. People are going to think whatever they think. That, to me, it says a lot more about them than it does about me. Or it says just as much about them as it does about me. They have their perception of me, and they think that's a statement on me because they think they're perfect in comparison to me, which they're not. So they think, because they think they're perfect in comparison, they think their judgment is absolute, which it's not. It's all contextual, it's all dependent, it's all um, it's all personal, and most definitely will at some point change based on a shift in perspective, which always occurs. So people who think their opinions are fixed are incorrect. People who think that their perspectives won't change are incorrect. People who think that their judgments can even enter the realm of absolutes are incorrect. People who think that ideas can be placed into categories are incorrect. They can't. You can do it, but as soon as another person disagrees, that's all the evidence that is needed to say, well, that's incorrect. The reason that's incorrect is because there's no truth when it comes to perspective. It seems like your perspective, and that's personal, but your perspective changes dependent upon your experiences. And so with more time, you see similar situations differently. You react differently. You don't over exaggerate the emphasis on emotion, as that connects to the idea of your unfaulting ability to correctly determine the precise value of every situation as if there is a fundamental value which can be measured, which there isn't. It doesn't exist. The idea of it seems to exist. The idea of it also doesn't exist. It's gone. So once that's gone, what are you left with? Well, you're left with like the realization that you're a bit of a prick. And that people don't like you because of your judgments. That's a very straightforward, systematic process that takes place. And it's as simple as getting away from thinking that you are right about anything. Stop being right. You don't have to be right. It means nothing. You don't need to have a mental solution to everything. And if you do want to find a solution to anything, it's not going to be by holding desperately onto your thoughts. Holding desperately onto your thoughts is not going to make those thoughts more correct. They're not correct, nor are they incorrect. They're neither. They're both. You're getting into binaries and thinking that they apply to systems of ideals. They can in the right context, but they don't when you're not doing it correctly. See how complicated this gets? Further complications lead to more interesting conversations. There's no way around what you go through. There is a way through what you go around. Do you want to go through? Or do you want to go around? You can do both. You can do neither. You can't do one or the other. That's your solution. That's the end of it. No more questions. Just answers. Just answers. What are you left with? Complex philosophies, apparently. What does that mean? It means not being able to see how simple that is. You have to explain like specific points in order to give a reference to your questioning mind as to what it is that's actually being discussed. But no one is ever going to make it clear what is being discussed. No one with any sense about them. Why would they want to do that? That would be to remove the intriguing ambiguity. Without that, there's no curiosity. That's what keeps curiosity alive, is to reintroduce the element of intriguing ambiguity. You don't want to say what it is that's true or false, because that's not an interesting conversation. That's a judgmental conversation, and we're not going towards judgmental attitudes. They don't exist anyway. You can see them when they appear. That doesn't actually assure you of their existence. They're just illusions on the screen of conscious awareness to them. And they take that and they say, well, here's what is. This is what is here. I say, that's not what is there. In that second, it's gone. God, John, gone. Simple, less. Can you hear that? Without questions? If not, why not? That's the beginning of all that is made up of. Words. That was how the story began. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God. Do you understand what that means? Wisdom comes from experience. It doesn't come from subscribing to a set of ideals or beliefs. If that's what you think is happening, then you have to question whether that's happening or not. It is and it isn't. What you get as part of a package is it's a mix up of lots of different things. So if you want the package, it's got loads of good stuff in it. You collect that, and then you separate what's in there out. You take things out, you look at them, and you go, right, this goes here, that goes there. In the way that objects relate to the concepts of the positions of their places. It's just like that. It's just like that. Separate the wheat from the chaff, but don't stop doing what you're doing. Don't stop doing the job of separating the wheat from the chaff as if there's nothing of value in there. Of course, there's something of value in there. That's why you're doing that job. That's why you're separating the wheat from the chaff. If you give up doing the job, you get no wheat. That's the point. You get nothing good out of anything. You just become a conscientious objector who's not interested in pursuing anything of value. If you pursue anything of value, to see the value means to be able to compare it to that which has relatively less value. But that doesn't stop you from seeking the treasure. And the treasure doesn't stop existing just because you don't know it's there. You just need to open your eyes. I think I should go out at least for a short amount of time. I don't know where. I don't know why. I have to do something, basically, just to stay active. And that definitely means moving from this chair, heading out the house, taking a walk, seeing where I end up. Activity for the sake of activity. Better than no activity. It means thinking I'm productive, even though I'm not. Why do I need to be? Why do I want to be? I don't. I can simply act just for the sake of acting. That's interesting. There's more to discover. There's more to see. More sights to see. More thoughts to be thought. More sounds to be heard. More senses to be experienced. More places to go. More people to meet. More questions to be asked. More jobs to be done. more money to be made, more ideas to come to fruition, more things to get excited about, more things to show an interest in. That's what there is out there. What's stopping me from going out and getting all that and seeing all that and experiencing all that? What's stopping me is a thought. Thoughts are just like words on the page of a book. You look at a page of a book, there are the words written there. You look into the place where your thoughts exist, and it's exactly the same. There are the words written there. What are those words? Well, there's one that says, I'm not able to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. Who wrote that and why? And do you want that to be what's written there? You can cross it out. You can erase it. If you're writing the thoughts on the page of your mind, if you're writing the book of your ideas, don't you want to write the kind of story that you want to read? If it's not for you, who's it for? You're the one who has to live with it. So why not regain control over the words, the story that is written there? It's yours to write. And if you don't like that story that's written there, well, it's inside your head. So if you're not in control of what's inside your head, who is? Who is? Isn't that a great question? If I'm not in charge of this vehicle, then who is? If I'm not driving this car, then who is? There must be someone that's in control. And if I say this is me, then shouldn't it be me that's in control of me? Isn't that what makes sense? Maybe not. Maybe not. Makes sense to me though. I've got to be able to look at this stuff that's going on up here and then decide whether that's what I want to be written there. That's all it is. It's just words that are written. That's a thought. That's what stops you from leaving the house. Thought says, I don't want to. Okay. What does thought about thought say? I can have a thought about that thought. I can think, I don't want to, in part, but I also do kind of want to. Then it's like, which side do I land on when it comes to the decision? making the decision, actualizing the decision-making process. Which side do I land on? You can introduce the concept that it's neither. Okay, well then what do I do now? You can introduce the idea that it's both. Okay, but there has to be an order there. You have to rank them in terms of their priority to you. So there'll be a 1, there'll be a 2. And then you have to pick and choose which you do first, which you do second. If you were going to do both without that ranking system, then you would need to have 2 bodies. I don't have 2 bodies, not at least right now. So I can't do that. Maybe in the future, when I get some more bodies, I can do that. So that is the breakdown of the decision-making process. It's just an example to show how the functions of mental states operate. And it's coming back to the idea that basically I wanted to go out and get some cheese from the shop next door. It's a very short walk. And I might also get one of those pink rock stars that I got yesterday, because that was pretty good. So it's another day of keeping it simple. What's that? The acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Yeah, it's another day of keeping it simple with complicated explanations. I'm never going to be simple in like a mental way, but I always keep it simple when it comes to the physical. I only just go one step at a time. I don't stray too far away from safety. And I'm a bit of a coward. That's okay with me. I'm not any of that in reality. But it's an interesting explanation as to say, well, why do I do what I do? And I like to make comparisons to the chessboard. The king can only move one square at a time. And then usually you just leave him to stay there whilst you move some of the other pieces around. But he is the king. He's the most important piece on the board. That's the metaphor. Sometimes you don't look like you're doing too much. But so what? You're the king. You're the most important piece. Cheese and a pink rock star. Cheese and a pink rock star. Cheese and a pink rock star. This is my little friend. He's a great guy. He's taken me on a journey. Thank you, little man. Cheese and a pink rockstar. Frey bentos. Chicken meatballs. In gravy. Cheese and a pink rockstar. So I'm going to take the rockstar from here. I'm going to place it here, which is actually quite a dangerous thing to do considering the laptop is there. I had a little table next to this desk, and that's where I was placing the drinks. Now that's gone. You know what? Instead, I should make a little space on this shelf here, and then that can be the place for whatever drink I'm currently drinking. Then there's no chance of spilling it. Anyway, I'm going to cook up some food now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do rice and peas with bacon grill, and then we're going to do some roasted potatoes. Right, so yeah, rice and peas with bacon grill. So I need 2 tins of peas, 2 bacon grills. Then I'm gonna do 3 tins of potatoes roasted. So yeah, okay, I'm just gonna keep repeating that. Oh god, right. Let's put the camera down for a sec. Oh, come on, please. Please do what I tell you to do. Camera. Right. Okay. Turn the light on. It's not too bright in here right now. Right, so 3 tins of new potatoes. They're going to get roasted. Then the peas and bacon grill. And this is all going in the kitchen. Sorry to leave you there. So, here are the ingredients. 2 tins of peas, 3 tins of potatoes, new potatoes, 2 bacon grills. They're all from Asda. The potatoes and the bacon grills are Asda's by Asda range. And the peas are Farrow's Giant Marrow Fat Peas. Marrow Fat Peas. Interesting name. So, I like reading everything a lot of times, over and over. And I like reading everything to the camera lots of times, over and over. And I like to keep repeating myself a lot, lots of times, over and over to the camera. That's what I like to do. Anyway, I've got to wash the pan that I'm going to use, so I'm not going to film that. Oh, you know what, I will. Yeah, I'll film it. Why not? Fuck it. Gotta have this pan cleaned up. You know what? The bottom of that pan is like really burnt on from the last time I used it, and it was a few days ago, and I've just left it there. So it's gone pretty stale and stubborn. My scrubbers just aren't good enough to actually get it off. So I'm going to fill it up with as hot water as possible, leave it for a bit, and then try and come back to it. But what I can do in the meantime is I can use a different pan. Even though it's a frying pan, I can still make rice in it. It doesn't make much difference as far as I know. If you just put water in a frying pan. If you put water in a frying pan, then it just basically just becomes a regular pan. So yeah, I don't really care. So if it's okay with me, then it's okay. You know why? Because it's just me and just my house. So who gives a fucking shit what anyone else thinks? I don't. You have to be an idiot to have an opinion about something like that. Like, if you're not an idiot, then you just shut the fuck up and you just keep your opinions to yourself. And if you're an idiot, then you share it with the chance of serious fucking consequences. Why would you want serious consequences? Don't waste your energy. Just know when to shut the fuck up. Great advice. So, chuck 2 stock cubes in there in the pan with the water, the frying pan, and then we'll chuck a load of rice in there too. So that's going to cook up, and then once that's sort of on the way towards cookedness, then I'll chuck in 2 tins of peas and whoops. Oh, hang on. Is it still recording? Right, I dropped the camera. I was thinking before about if I manage to severely or seriously damage this camera, then I guess I'll have to get a new one. But I'm thinking, like, when I've got the money, I might just buy like a couple of spares, because they're really small, so I could carry them around with no real issues, like a couple of spare cameras. And it would be just in case anything happens. But to be honest, like, if a camera got smashed up or something, then I would just buy a new one as soon as I had the chance. And that's pretty easy. I think the DJI Osmo 3 is a pretty popular camera, so they're probably really easy to get hold of. As long as I've got enough money to get one, then I'll get one, because I want to keep making videos. I really like it. So where is the chopping board? That's a good question. Where is the chopping board? Huh. I definitely used it recently, so it must be around here somewhere. Can't see it. Is it in there? No. Oh, is that it? Oh, that is a chopping board. Okay, that'll do. Oh. Damn. Something smells bad. What is that? I don't know what that is. It's probably the bin bag. Yeah,
I'd have to guess it's the bin bag, or it's the drains. Sometimes the drains start to smell, I guess. Normally as it starts to get a bit warmer. But I was told that's perfectly normal. It's just ever so slightly unpleasant. Anyway, I'll bring the camera down here. I'm just going to open up this bacon grill. So I'm going to just get these 2 bacon grills out. And then I'm going to chop them up into small pieces. Oh, fucking hell. Have I messed it up? Oh, no, there we go. I'm going to chop them up into small pieces, and then they're going to get stirred in with the peas, and the rice. So then we'll have bacon grill, rice and peas, and there's also going to be some roast potatoes as well. So I've just turned on the oven in order to do the roast potatoes, which is going to be in a bit. Gosh, is that clean? Ah, right, okay. I think I just stirred coffee with this knife. Man, I really need to do some washing up. I've been slacking with it recently. It's good when it's all done. I'll get it done. Very soon, I'll do it. Okay, so I'm chopping up the bacon grills, and they're going to go into thin pieces. Not thin pieces actually. They're going to go into like small cubes, or as close to cubes as you could possibly get. Not sure exactly how well I'll be able to do that. It's quite tricky holding it together, like the full shape of the bacon grill. It's a bit tricky to hold it together as you're trying to chop it. There might be like a really good way to do it that I've not quite figured out, but I mean, this is now the figuring out process that is taking place right here, right now. So it's the age-old phrase. There's only one way to do it, and that's to do it. And that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got 2 of those. Well, I've got one of those chopped up nicely, and I've got one more that is work in progress. Right, so that's done. So you didn't get to see that, but here is the end result. It's all those bacon pieces nicely chopped up, and now I'm going to do the roast potatoes. So got to take a baking tray thing and open up the potatoes, and I'm going to drain them out. Drain into the sink. I'm using three tins of new potatoes, and the tins of new potatoes just come in water, with water in them. So you got to drain them, get the water out, and then all I do is just chuck them on a tray and stick them in the oven. That's pretty much it. I mean, I chuck them on a tray, and then I've previously just added like a little bit of salt and a little bit of oil, but I'm not actually going to add the oil this time. I'm going to see how they do without that. So literally just potatoes and salt. Going into the oven. And then all I do is just check up on them and just see how they're doing. And then once they look like they're good and ready to go, then take them out. And then obviously eat when hungry. I'm not actually hungry right now, but I'm just cooking for the sake of cooking. But so that there's food there later when I am hungry and I'm ready to eat. Because I'm usually just predicting that, you know, at some point soon enough, I'll want something. So when I do, there's something there that's ready. I did get the cheese, but that's more just going to be like a snack for tonight, I imagine. I'll just make like a cheese toasty or something. So anyway, I'm going to close this for a bit and then go back on my computer. Progress update. I've done all that washing up. That's good. That's taken care of. Got more stuff I need to take care of. The rice is cooking up pretty good. Give it a bit of a stir. Not sure if it needs any more water. That's probably okay the way it is. That's good. Might have a bit too much bacon, to be honest. Maybe I could have done with just doing one of those bacon grills. But it is what it is. It'll be a very bacony meal. But there'll be plenty of peas and plenty of rice all mixed in. It's probably going to be about equally proportional, I think. Looking at it right now, I would guess that. So just gonna chuck some of these empty packets to a bin bag, and then I'm all good. Bit more waiting, bit more YouTube. Finished the food that I was making. The roast potatoes are done. The other food is done. I ate a bowl full of it with some mozzarella on top. And it's pretty good. So, and I've got the roast potatoes and the rest of the rice and the peas and the bacon grill. Put that off for later. I've had enough for now.
I sort of feel like I might have a headache coming on, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I feel like that, and then it's all okay. And then sometimes I feel like that, and then I get a headache. I'm not sure how I would describe this feeling. Might not even be true. It might just be superstition. It likely is. It often is. But anyway, yeah, I'm all done with that food now. And now I'm just watching Mujiji on the YouTube. He's got 869k subscribers. That's quite a lot. Video I'm watching's got 4.9k likes, 107 dislikes. So he's doing pretty good. He's pretty popular YouTuber. I'd love to get to that size. That'd be crazy. I can't even imagine what that would be like right now. I wonder if like increased popularity actually satisfies your soul, or whether it's just still an empty feeling. I don't know. I think it would probably oscillate between the two, maybe, like the flip flop thing. But I think it's worth trying to find out what that feels like, because there's only one real way to find out what it feels like, and that's to do it. And I'm not stopping making my YT vids because I don't want to. So, what am I doing with the rest of the day now? I managed to go out one time today. That's good. One is better than 0. 2 is better than 1. 3 is better than 2. 4 is better than 3. But 1 is better than 0. What is 0? Nothing. So it doesn't mean anything. Can't describe it. Can't describe 0, can you? Can't describe nothing. So, just playing around with 1. The concept of 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all you need. Count your way to infinity and live forever. How do you get to infinity? How do you live forever? Well, start counting and never stop. I only count to 5 and then I always stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Stop there. That's enough. That's the left-hand path. The right-hand path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand, right hand. What else do you need? Do you need anything more than your hands? I don't. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I need.
No direction necessary. No path to follow. No way to go. No thought to think. That's it. 1. What's next? 2. That's it. Stop there. 1, 2, stop. Right. Now, turn around, start walking. Stop. Count to 2. 1, 2, stop. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn around, come back. Stop. Sit down. Right. Now you can listen. Go watch YouTube videos. From which distance is the word to be heard? To know that is to hear that the word is not a word. There's one word. There's 2 words. There's 2 words that make one word. There's 1 word that makes 2 words. 2 can go to 3. 3 can go to 4. 4 can go to 5. 5 can go to 6. 6 can go to 7. What are these words? Count the dimensions. Recognize each dimension. Write them down. Create artwork using that. Take away words with artwork. Take away artwork with words. 1 word. Two dimensions. It's 4:38 p.m. now. I'm pretty bored. Just sent a video over to somebody. Don't really know what else to do now. I want to find more interests to pursue and explore. There's got to be something else that I care about that I would like to try my hand at. Making YouTube videos is now the most important thing to me to actually try, because I can see how much I get back from it the fulfillment is indescribable. I don't want to stop doing that. And now, basically, the pursuit of pleasure is always centered around trying to get something good on the video. But I can see there'll be a point where the video is something that I stop and then I just go ahead and do what I want to do without that. But I'm not going to stop doing a vlog every day. I'll do that. It's just that I'll be putting the camera down more and coming out with shorter vlogs eventually. But not right now. Right now, it's going to be as long as it is. And if I've got more to say, then I'm going to keep talking. So that's the way that is. So it's not going to be shorter at all for the moment. It's going to be longer. And it's not long enough for me, really. I'd like it to be even longer than it is. Because I have a lot to say. And I want to keep talking. I want to keep talking to the camera. So I will. Like I said, it's not having an effect on anybody apart from me. So I'm not going to listen to your opinion about how long you think this video should be. I don't care. If you don't like this video, if you don't want to watch this video, then don't watch this video. I really do not give a single shit whatsoever whether you watch this. If you think in any way possible that I'm doing this for you, you are absolutely 100% incorrect, idiot. Fuck off. I don't give a shit if you watch my video, dickhead. What I am interested in is making the video itself. Now, I did talk about earlier doing a McDonald's hot drink review. I could actually get up and go out and do that, but I'm not going to. I will at some point in the future do something along those lines, if not exactly specifically that. But for now, I'd rather just keep going around in circles in my house and not really doing anything and just talking to the camera, making my YouTube video. That's way more important to me. And I really don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks about that. I really don't. Like, I'm not just saying that I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'm saying that. I'm not saying that only to convince myself that that is true. I'm saying that to be direct. But I'm also saying that because I have to say something for the video, and the something that I have to say for the video is going to be whatever it is that I'm thinking about. That's what I'm going to say. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because that's what I'm thinking about. Why would I say anything about anything else other than what I'm currently thinking about? Tell me how that makes any sense whatsoever. How and why would you possibly talk about something that you're not thinking about? You can't even do it even if you wanted to. You fucking idiot. You are so stupid. I can't believe how fucking thick you are. You are an absolute fucking moron. Dopiest fucking cunt I've ever seen in my entire life. Waste of fucking space, idiot. This is a response to the possible reactions of the viewers of the video. I can see the idea of the comments or the thoughts arising, so I'm addressing them now, so I don't have to address them later. But I will address them later again. And I really don't care what the reactions are. I don't give a fuck what the reactions are. Stupid bunch of pricks. Why? I don't get why anyone would think that I give a shit at all about anything they have to say. Why would you possibly think that I would give a fuck? It's so stupid. You are an absolute fucking moron. If you haven't actually understood that, I wouldn't be here if I cared, would I? I wouldn't be here making this video if I gave a single fuck about what anyone thought about it. Oh no, someone's going to have a thought about it. What? You think I give a shit about that? You're a fucking coward, not me. You're not going to make me like you, an idiot. I'm not. I'm not stupid. It's not too much editing to sit through a video of this length. I don't care at all. I have nothing better to do. This is the best thing that I have going on. This is the only thing that I want to do. I'm not trying to find reasons why I can't do this. Because I want to do it. You have to be an absolute dumb fuck to even think of trying to convince me that I don't want to do this. As if I haven't already thought about it at all. And I'm just like, what? I'm not doing this for the egotistical reasons that you project. Because I'm not an egotistical fucking retarded cunt like you. I'm watching this video of this fucking dickhead talking, and he's talking just an load of absolute shit. And it's crazy how he has an audience of people who just eat it all up. And they listen to all the fucking bollocks that's coming out of this guy's mouth. And I've just started thinking, why the fuck am I watching this shit? This guy's a fucking prick. He's not a prick, but he's not. But he's but you know, he's not very clever, let's put it like that, but he thinks he's very clever. I'm not so sure about that. This video is from years ago, so keep that in mind to think. Maybe he's not like that now, but because YouTube's sort of invented time travel, now people are reacting live to things that happened years ago, and they're acting like that matters, which it doesn't. Which is what I just did, and I explained that I'm a hypocrite. I've already explained that I'm a hypocrite. So are you, if you hadn't noticed, dumbass.
So what I'm doing now is fuck all, basically. Um, it's more just thinking about what I'm doing now, which I'm not interested in. So I'm not going to do that. So I've stopped doing that. So what am I doing now? Starting that thought process again. I don't want to. So it goes like that. I've got to think of just creative new ways to um, give explanations to the camera and also look into like the other areas of interest that appear and then try and create some interesting ideas about them, around them, to decorate the canvas of the continuation of the process. And I like the way I talk. I think it's great. The way other people talk about the way I talk, that's not great. What they're saying is that it's not great or something like that, or it's like they're saying that they don't understand. And they're thinking because they don't understand, that means that they know better, not realizing that if you don't understand something, that means you are missing something, and that if you were to figure out what was happening, then you would understand. So you think that if you don't understand, that person must be stupid, not realizing that you not understanding is why you're stupid. If you can't figure that out, you're an idiot. You have to just accept that you're an idiot. If you're saying, "Oh, yeah, but I don't understand," that's because you're stupid. That's not because they're stupid. You're stupid. You're missing something that other people get. You don't get it. That's not because it doesn't make sense. That's because you can't understand it. It's your fault, not theirs. Get that. And shut up between now and you getting it. Because no one wants to hear you carrying on talking your idiot fucking statements. You just sound like a fucking prick. No one gives a shit about what you have to say, dumb fuck. Just been talking to someone via WhatsApp about what's going on over in London, where they're playing shows a lot. And I'm not interested in playing. At this point, I'm just interested in talking. That's it, really. But I'll get to a place, I think, where I may be more interested in playing. Right now, I'm just interested in
doing my YouTube video. That's it, and practicing guitar. And piano. I could play drums in a situation with a multi-instrumentalist, but I'm not interested in busking again because of the situations that come along with that, which I've explained previously in my video, which was called Talk About Busking and Music. So now I'll do more talk about busking and music right now. It's a possibility that I could be playing music more again when I'm back in London. Not right now. I've got too much on my plate already. I have a lot going on, and I can't take on any more activities or responsibilities. Not right now, anyway. I'll get to a place where that changes again and it starts making more sense to do it different. Possible, probable, definitely, maybe. Oasis. There's always another route or another pathway that can be taken through circumstances and that will get you to what it is that you want. Not straight away, step by step, little by little, and without all the stress of thinking you have to be like another person that you look up to. Not that, but just me trying to take my path and go where I want to go. That's the result that will give the most personal satisfaction and become therefore more interesting. As a result, your character, your charisma, receives added bonus points and your strength of character. Just like Fallout and games like that. Video games like that. There's way more to explain about all of that stuff, and it's quite straightforward. When you think about it, it takes time to put the pieces together through your continuation of the discovery, going into further depths of knowing and understanding what it is that you want. Now, it has to be that way because of how all of the jumbled mess of the ways that we think personally all come together and create this set of circumstances which looks like a chaotic thing. It's not. When you look at the constituent elements of what makes up this way of thinking, it it takes out the dynamic that looks like stress or confusion, and then it starts to order that into like um, into a systematic approach that ends up looking great. And so you don't think like the way that you do when you're not sure what's what and how things appear and everything like that. They don't have to appear any kind of way. And when you actually see yourself and you know what it is that's going on, then you reorder your understandings in order to come to the place where it's all making perfect sense, and that's the solution. Then there's no thought there that can stop your twisting and turning of the paths that you choose to take, the more interesting paths. That's what I like to do. If you think that's not interesting, that's up to you to think that. But it's not that that's the way it is, because it's not. I like that process because it brings about this sort of curious blissfulness that is quite addictive. And there's a point where I just go, well, if I've stopped making sense, then that's okay with me. But because I've stopped making sense, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop making sense out of what doesn't seem to make sense. I'm going to find ways to explain what's not making sense, because then it makes sense. That's why I'm saying that's the solution and the way out of that. It's so direct. It's like I'm responding to the thought you're having, and you're thinking like, that's not possible. Well, why not? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. It's as if like you're not aware that there is such a thing as a mind reader. It's like you're not aware that there is such a thing as psychic ability. Like, of course, there is such a thing as psychic ability. Of course, there is. That's not hard to see once you reach a certain point in your discovery. That's as clear and apparent as saying that the sky is blue. It's like stating the obvious. And those who reject that idea just don't know. It's like what I was talking about before. Like, to think that you don't understand and that makes you smarter means to miss the fact that you don't understand because they're smarter. And if you're missing the possibility that they may be smarter than you are, then what then? You have nothing left in your defense strategy. That's all you have. So you end up with what? Now you just have to listen. And then that's great. That's great for you. Then you can move on from thinking that way. And it's like, yeah, you got a headache coming. What we call a headache. You got one of those coming.
What's up with that? Do it. That's your karma. You have to do it. It's your karma to do it. The ethos now for my YouTube video has got to be, it's different strokes for different folks. Some like watching a fat guy eat food, and some like watching a crazy guy talk crazy shit. I like a bit of everything mixed together, but it's all under the same brand. That's me, James. Hello. And after saying hello, I've also got to say goodbye for today. It's only 5:30 p.m, but I'm going to end the video here. I've got a lot of footage already from today, so going to end this one, and I'll see ya tomorrow for more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. End.